Chapter 4 TV Training Wheels. If Stephen was nervous about directing an early episode of Night Gallery, a series of spooky half-hour shows with twisty surprise endings, he didn't show it, even working with John Crawford, a movie star old enough to be his grandmother. Movie talk. People in the film industry use lots of interesting words and expressions. Blockbuster, a very successful movie. Box office, the total amount of money a film earned through ticket sales. CGI, computer-generated images, color images and special effects created on the computer. Feature film, a movie that is at least 40 minutes long. Most feature films are at least an hour long. Franchise, a movie can become a franchise if it branches out into sequels, video games, television shows, action figures, or books. Green light. Getting a green light means that enough money has been raised for work on a movie to start. Post-production. The period after filming or principal photography is complete. Editing, adding the soundtrack, and putting in special effects are all done in post-production. Short film, a film that is less than 40 minutes long. Storyboard, a series of drawings or sketches like a comic strip showing the action and camera angles in a movie. This way of planning scenes began in the 1930s with Walt Disney and his animators. Some directors like Steven still use the storyboards. Didn't seem to rattle him. He was all business on the set. He knew he had to be. A lot depended on this first job. Stephen charmed Joan Crawford, who could behave like a Cruella de Vil if she chose, and she delivered a great performance for him. The finished show was as scary as it was supposed to be, and it aired on schedule. Executives at Universal were happy. In no time, and old Stephen had a real office at the studio, a new convertible, and a house of his own in Laurel Canyon. The one thing he didn't have was a green light, or go-ahead, to make a full-length feature film. Stephen directed many TV episodes and a handful of hour-long made-for-TV movies. One of them, called Duel, was an eerie, nearly wordless thriller that drew glowing reviews and was later released in European movie theaters. Critics praised Duel so highly that Stephen got at least a dozen offers to direct feature films after its debut. But none of them intrigued him as much as a news story he had read about a young Texas couple called the Dents. They were so desperate to get their son back from a foster home that they became outlaws, and dozens of police cars chased them from one end of Texas to the other. Stephen knew the story would make a great movie. He also knew that it would require a budget of $2.5 million. He managed to get Universal to pay for him to write a script about the Dents, but that was all. Meanwhile, Richard Zanuck and David Brown, two talented producers, joined Universal and read the script. They decided they wanted to make the film with Stephen directing and convinced the head of the studio to give Stephen's movie idea a green light. He began shooting the Sugarland Express in January 1973, a few weeks after his 26th birthday. Zanuck and Brown were amazed by how well the kid handled the shoot. He directed the actors, the 50 cars and drivers, and the many dangerous stunts like an old pro. Though film critics loved the Sugarland Express, audiences didn't, and that was very disappointing to Stephen. He knew that if his next movie wasn't a success, his career might be over.